Hello. My name is Arthur. I am here to tell you about my top 5 favorite horror films. These are my personal favorites and are not based on the movie's popularity with audiences nor with critics. Admittedly, many of you may downright hate some of these movies. That's okay. We all like different things. Anyhow, these are the top 5 horror movies that I personally enjoyed. Warning, there will be spoilers, so if you don't like them, you may want to watch a video with kittens or puppies baking their humans in a large pie. I'm sure there's a creepypasta featuring that somewhere. Number 5. Shaun of the Dead. Now, while this may not be considered a true horror movie, it does have many of the classic elements. Zombies, people trapped in a dangerous situation, and a protagonist who starts out as an egotistical self-absorbed idiot and, well, despite his flaws, you get the sense that he does care in his own way, and unlike the other characters in this list's other films, Shaun doesn't let a little thing like a zombie invasion faze him. Even when his best pal becomes a zombie, what does our protagonist do? He chains him in a shed where he can't hurt anybody and pays him regular visits where they continue their favorite pastimes of playing video games together. What a pal. Number 4. The Langoliers. Many people think that The Langoliers was one of Stephen King's worst movies. But I disagree. I still think Maximum Overdrive deserves that dubious honor. King, amongst his many talents, is the master of what I like to call the small crowd scenario. With stories such as It, The Shining, The Stand, and The Mist, King has made a name for himself in horror history. So, why do I like the Langoliers in particular? Well, first off, I'm a sucker for time travel. A lame reason, perhaps. But, hey, lots of people have lame reasons for hating things, so I'm sticking with this reason for liking it. Besides, you've got to love Bronson Pinchot in the role of Craig Toomey. The man chews the scenery like a Langolier. Every line is over the top from the moment he rips that first strip of paper to his last line of dialogue. The man is insanity done to perfection. Number 3. The Dead of Night. Now, The Dead of Night is an anthology, so we'll be covering this movie more thoroughly in an upcoming episode. But for now, I will say that the wraparound is well put together and the main character's descent into madness is well told. Also, this movie was created back in the 1940s, so it's one of the few horror movies on this list that relies on story and good acting rather than on special effects. That, and it has a rather catchy musical number. I recommend it to anyone who enjoys horror anthologies. Just make sure you see the 1945 movie and not the entirely different 1977 anthology by the same name. Both are good, but I like this one a whole lot better. Number 2. Night of the Comet. Again, like Shaun of the Dead, Night of the Comet is actually a dark comedy rather than a true horror movie. However, it uses many of the classic horror elements. Again, zombies, people trapped in a dangerous situation, and the end of the world. Wow, those two movies have a lot in common. Kind of like the similarities between Solar Babies and Tank Girl. The thing I love about Night of the Comet is the realistic way in which our protagonist and her sister are portrayed. Let's face it, if the world we knew had just come to an end, and we had nothing to do, while we might take on the serious role of saving what was left of the human race, you can be sure we'd probably do a little shopping first. In my number 1 favorite horror movie, Evolution, perhaps most people would label this as science fiction or comedy. But with the looming threat of an alien organism rapidly evolving and spreading across the continental United States, Evolution has a strong story and great characters, known by some as the Ass Movie, because of its multiple references to that part of the body, including David Duchovny's A-libbed mooning scene, and the very humorous scene where Orlando Jones says he wants an ice cream for his ass. Evolution knows when to be funny, and when to set the jokes aside and let Duchovny do what he does best. And that makes Evolution the number 1 movie on this list. So, those are my favorites. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to stay tuned for more lists and reviews.